We don't have to go in the family tree for this one. Y'all know my pops. He was just on the channel and he goes by LeBrick James. This story isn't out of the norm because y'all just heard about my cousin Danji, who really started this football stuff for my family and I. I just so happen to be next up. First off, my name is Bernard James. The name simply means bear strength. Now before y'all start making fun of my name, I get that a lot at school already.
Hey look y'all, Bernard James. That's why your daddy in jail for the rest of his life, nigga.
Okay, that last one was crazy. I definitely swung on him, but yeah, y'all know my pop's story and that he's in prison for the rest of his life, which leads us to this part of the story where we picking things up, but a little backstory. My mama didn't know she was pregnant by my pops until she went to the doctor. Blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, I was born, frequent visits to the prison to see my pops. Fast forward 16 years later, here we are. Obviously, my family is a huge part of my life, but it doesn't define who I am. Even more unfortunately, even if I wanted to hoop like everyone else, I didn't make the height cut. I got the worst part of my pop's genes, short and stocky. I'm only 5'11", 175 pounds. Like I said, basketball wasn't my thing, but my pops kept reassuring me that even though I wasn't the tallest, I was still destined to be an athlete. He even told me how you guys would suggest he play football, and that's where my journey began. I've been playing football all my life, really, but I didn't really start taking it seriously until the 11th grade. I learned what I could learn in a short amount of time, and it's my senior year in high school, and I'm looking to make waves the same way my family does on the court. There's a lot more I need to learn, and I feel like I can only do that with more touches and experience. And we all know Danji really paved the way for this, so I was getting advice from him all the time. It's always good linking up with the big cuz. I was coming in my senior year as a 1-star running back, and that's enough for the introduction. Let's get into some football. My senior year debut and the team was struggling, especially me. I wasn't really hitting my holes the way I should, and it was showing on the stat sheet. But on 2nd and 10, coach called a screen and I would finally see a big game, picking up 18 yards and breaking a tackle. 2nd and 10 from the 15, I'm getting the delayed handoff, picking up a tough 8 yards. Then from the 1-yard line, I'm sneaking into the end zone, getting my first tutty of my senior year with hopes of going up from there. 2nd and 10 with 10 seconds left in the game, I'm trying to run through some of these guys and it's just not working for me, only picking up 4 yards. Further up the field, on 1st and 10 from the 40, I'm getting absolutely destroyed, lifted off my feet, picking up 4 yards again. 2nd and 12, coach is looking to me to make 3rd down more manageable, and I do that, fighting and being pushed from my lineman down to the 5. Now we're 5 wide, and I'm just here so I don't get fined, as our tight end comes down with the ball, and we're on the scoreboard yet again, giving us some separation. It's crunch time because the game is tied, and I'm not trying to take an L in my first game. First play is for me, and again, just really dogfighting my way for only 4 yards. Coach is making changes from the sideline on 3rd and 6. I catch the ball, but I'm immediately met by 2 defenders, and the ref somehow gives us the first. Play right after that, coach is calling my number, and I'm bouncing to the outside again, trying to run through folks, and I get stopped after picking up 8. Another play for me out the backfield, and I'm not hitting the correct hole, and we barely get the first again. Further down the field, coach is draining the clock, and I get the ball and shuffle for 7 yards, getting us closer to scoring. Next play, I'm thinking run, but coach wants a pass, so I'm out the backfield, finding some open space, falling forward for a tutty, and that was the game winner. Shout out to the defense for coming through when we needed it, and we started the season 1-0. I rushed for 123 yards on the ground, 33 in the air, and 3 total touchdowns. Next game was a disaster for me as far as rushing goes, although this play I rushed for a first and some, but I already had 3 touches before that, and I'm only at 18 yards for the game. I know in order to get that recruiting that I want, I would have to go harder. It was just tough for me to get going. It just felt like I couldn't because although I was super strong, as you see me throwing a guy off, I didn't have enough to get back running the way I wanted to. Luckily, this is an 11-man sport, and my guys were locking in as the QB throws a dime to my guy Deontay for a big touchdown in this game. 2nd and 10, we're backing down a score. I'm getting the ball, and just when I think I'm doing something, I get smacked from my blind side, and I need a minute to get up. I know this doesn't look good for me scouting wise, but it's 2nd down again, and screens are my best friend. Getting out of the backfield, I'm finding the right lane, getting us a 1st down. And that's my role on this team. I'm just a nickel and dime guy. I haven't had any big runs, and I want to be that guy as Titus comes down with an absolute dot from the QB for a score to tie this game up for now. Now, things went from worse to worser. I wasn't getting any yards. We weren't scoring, and this was the first reality check for us this season. I only had 56 yards on the ground, 64 in the air, and no touchdowns. Now, that performance last week was really getting to me. I'm still a one-star running back, and every game I felt like I was going backwards. Not to mention, I was taking abuse on that field. I would only have spurts of greatness, no moments. Even when I would break tackles, get first downs for the team, in that moment, I was lit, but the overall of my career, I felt like giving up. On 3rd and 8, 5-star wide receiver Deontay, my guy, comes down with the pass and scores on our opening drive, and I get it. I see why he has all the college's attention. Back out on the field, first down, coach is giving me the ball, and I'm looking to break away, but I get stopped before I could even get a first. On 3rd and 3, another 5-star wideout, my best friend Laurel, catches a dime and is off to the races, burning folks, and he scores a tutty. I'm really trying to be like that, and I know I'm running out of time, and it's killing me mentally. And it's not like I'm not getting the opportunities. My coaches really believe in me, but plays like this, when I lose yards, I know he's got to be losing trust in me. And to be fair, with all these 5-star receivers on the team, I'm lucky to be getting touches at all. I know I'm only getting these touches to keep the defense honest. But then again, I do have those spurts of greatness, like on this play from the 23-yard line. Coach calls a screen. I'm following my blocks to the T. Hit an unnecessary spin, finding some daylight, and I'm in the end zone. Thank goodness, because last week it was a donut in both categories, and I'm finally back. And the battle for the mascot game was a wrap, and I did a tad bit better. 41 yards in the air for one tutty and 71 yards on the ground. But I'm still not where I want to be personally. I was talking with the guys one day after school, just asking them how did they get those 5 stars, and I was not prepared for what they had to say.
Hey, one thing you gotta do is put up at least 100 a game.
Facts. And you gotta make sure you post your highlights online, even reach out to the coaches.
Most of all, you need to have at least 1,000 yards minimum by the end of the season.
Also, I would say work on your speed. Stop trying to run folks over and get around them. Your short legs can move faster.
You really need to lock in and keep it a beam with you. It's like you out there, but you not really out there. I expect more from a James family member, no cap.
You know, it's good to have friends like that. Luckily for me, I went to visit my pops and he told me the same thing. I really had to step it up if I wanted to do this for real. Pops also told me I had nothing to prove to nobody. If I was going to do this, I needed to do it for myself. Only person stopping me is me. So I got back out on that track, worked on my stamina, got back in the gym, worked on my strength, and game by game, I was starting to notice slight improvements. Still wasn't getting any stars, but I felt better about my game. This is what I'm talking about when I say improving. Coach is always going to give me the ball to start the game, and I'm coming through big 17 yards. This should be a good one. 3rd and inches from the 1-yard line, I'm getting into the end zone with one man meeting me in the hole, and I had my head high after that drive. I was locked in, but everything changed for me mentally. Next drive from the 6-yard line, O-line is opening a gap for me. I take advantage, even knocking one guy on his back before I'm taken down. Big game. 2nd and 9, coach is calling the screen, and again, I'm pushing a guy off me, picking up 7 yards on the play. Nothing too crazy. From the 6-yard line, my guy Deontay is going to get the quick pass for the tutty, and we're looking solid as a team. Now we right back at it. A little misdirection, good for a first down. 2nd and 10, coach calling my number, and look at the blocks from the dogs up front, which gives me space to get all the way to midfield. I really got to work on my speed training, but peep the 5-star homie going up and getting one. That's a head tap all the way down to the 1-yard line. And from the 1, I just fall in behind my guys, getting me the tutty for my stats, and I was just getting started. Right back at it, and I thought I had one on this play, but I somehow get tripped up before I could take off. 1st and 10 from the 40, and again, I love the screenplay as I'm following my blocks, finally getting pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line, crossing midfield. 3rd and 5 from the 15. Coach running the screenplay back. I thank him for doing that, making sure I get into the end zone for another tutty, and we're dominating this game. And compared to previous weeks, this was something to build off of, racking in 134 yards on the ground and 66 in the air for 3 total tutties and another star on my recruiting board. The next game was against one of the worst in the country, so I knew I was going to be able to get some highlights from this one. Starting off from the 25, I'm following my blocks, beat one guy, and the rest is history. 75-yard tutty to start the game is nuts, and it only gets worse from there. Somehow we got the ball at the 1 yard line. We got to get out of trouble, and I go for 5 yards. But the play after that, I find the hole, punch one guy in the mouth, and the other guy just couldn't touch me, and that was a 95-yard rushing touchdown, as well as my second tutty of the day. I wouldn't get the ball again until the third, and on 2nd and 10, we're 20 yards out, and again, I'm making guys miss, throwing them off, and walking into the end zone from there. That's the third one for the day, and that was game. Hey, shout out to that team for helping me get my third star, because I never thought I would get it, finishing with 234 yards on the ground and 3 tutties. Another game, another opportunity to be great, and I'm trying to go all in, starting the game off with a 17-yard run. Passing game was still OP, but I was starting to get some respect as a ball carrier. But on this screen play, the defense really let me know they was not out here to mess around with me. 1st and 10 from the 17, I had to let them know I'm in business as well. Coming off that left edge, punching Goofy in the mouth, spinning off the next guy and fighting for the 9 yards, I would get on the play. I would get the ball again on 2nd down, cutting back up the field. Thought I was about to score, but I get stopped at the 1 yard line. After that, we do a nice little toss play to get me into the end zone after all that hard work I put in on this drive to get us here, and I'm feeling good. 1st and 10, we're looking to score before half. Coach calls the screen play. The defense hit the blitz, which gives me plenty of room to make one guy miss, but I get tackled by the other player. But that's a big game. Play after that, I'm coming out of the backfield for a quick catch. Again, they just can't wrap me up. And that's a 1st down. Down at the 4 yard line, I'm getting the ball. I see one linebacker clogging my original hole, so I turn it up, and I'm in the end zone. We're starting to pull away in this game, and my highlights are starting to pile up. Back from halftime, starting off at the 17-yard line, I'm bouncing to the right hole, but I get met by the defense immediately for a gain of 6 yards. Pass and play from the 11-yard line, and somehow I'm the guy that's open, and I walk into the end zone, really showing the state that we might be that team to beat this year. And we smashed on these guys, bringing in 114 yards on the ground and 75 in the air for 3 total touchdowns. Now, although we were winning and I was doing everything I needed to be successful, I still wanted that 4th star. I wanted to be a blue chip running back and get some good offers. Don't get me wrong. Up to this point, I was getting some pretty good looks, but I really wanted some top 25, play on TV every Saturday offers. And as the season was coming to a close, I was running out of time. But it is playoff season, which meant it was either put up or shut up. I got to fight for this last star before the end of the season. Now, this playoff game would send us to the state championship, and the boys were locked, and I'm starting the game off going for 13 yards to get us going. This was the number 2 defense in the state, and if I could go off against them, that 4th star was mine. But early on, these guys were not going for it. On 2nd and 2, I'm bouncing to the right side, finding some space, and you can see how physical these guys are, knocking me out of bounds. Down here at the 2 yard line, coach is giving me the ball and I'm walking right in. This was a tough opening drive, and we have to come with that same intensity every drive if we want to win. Tie game, coming back in. The 3rd on 1st down, I'm getting a handoff, getting upfield for a 14-yard gain. 2nd and 9, I'm moving out of the backfield. QB dumps it down to me, and I'm getting 7 before the defense surrounds me. 3rd and 8, it's a screenplay where I fight off 2 guys, tackled by the 3rd, but not before I get the 1st down. And from the 28, we got some motion going. I'm getting the handoff, choosing the right gap, fighting for the 11 yards. I barely get, and my body is taking a beating. 3rd and 3 from the 10. Coach wants me to get this first by any means necessary. I'm pulling out the spin move, showing them my agility, getting us the 1st down. And we only got 3 out of that drive, and we're back out here trying to stay alive in the playoffs. 4th quarter with only 54 seconds left. Coach is going to lean on his 5-star wideouts to get us up the field quickly, and they're showing why they got them stars. From the 40, coach gives me a shot to get upfield on a screenplay, and instead of getting my yards and getting out of bounds, I keep the clock moving, not even picking up the 1st. I definitely need to work on my awareness, especially when I'm tired, but coach is giving me another chance. This time, I get what I can and get out quickly. Them 5-stars seem to always get open when it matters the most, which gets us down to the 3 yard line with about 20 seconds left in the game. Fast forward, it's 3rd and goal. We have no timeouts and we have to score here or it's all over. And what I tell y'all, them 5-stars are really them, bro. Right place, right time. That tutty is going to send us to state, and no hating, but I wish it was me in there. But nevertheless, we're all happy for my guy and the fact that we get to fight for a state championship. I'm walking off the field securing 110 yards on the ground and 66 yards in the air with 1 total tutty. And bro, it's crazy how the universe works, right? We just went against the number 2 team in the state, and you won't believe who the number 1 team is in the state that we're matched up against for the state championship.
I hate to say it, little cuz, but y'all about to get thrashed.
Don't say that, Dangy.
Nah, pick your head up, cuz that's what you wanted. You gotta go out there and fight for it.
I know.
Just remember what we worked on, cuz now is the time to really put it all together.
You right.
Yeah, I know. I just need to find my old jersey so I can pull up.
Hell nah, don't you got something better to do?
Besides coming out to support you in your time of need, after my alma mater stumps y'all out, there's no place I'd rather be.
And Dangy was right. His old high school was really like that. A team full of D1 5-star players that were all going to be NFL pros, it felt like. Usually I like running the screenplay, but these dudes were making me hate it, shutting that play down quickly. Even our passing game was getting shut down out the gate. I couldn't do nothing but stand there and watch as our team was being manhandled. But I had to come back to my senses because moments like these will pass you by if you get caught sleeping. 2nd and 7 from the 44, I'm getting the handoff and I'm not sure where bro came from, but I'm fighting him off for a 10-yard gain. And I'm telling y'all, these guys are making us work for every inch. 2nd and 5, we're trying the screenplay again. This time we get some great lead blocks, and I'm finally taken down after an 11-yard gain. From the 33, I'm starting to get aggressive, running through a goofy for a 7-yard pickup. 3rd and 3, I thought I had one, bouncing to the right side. I'm punching one in the mouth, which makes the other guy miss. Thought I had me one, but this defense's pursuit is on a whole nother level. 3rd and goal, coach is giving me another shot, and with the help of the O-line, I get pushed into the end zone, and we strike first in this defensive-heavy game. And that trend will continue until the end of the 3rd quarter. I'm still feeling strong, getting things started with an 8-yard gain. Play after that, the line is doing their thing, and I'm getting us past midfield to go into the 4th quarter where we had to tee up. And I'm not sure what happened to the defense, but they were not ready, and I was, which meant it was time for me to turn on the jets, and I'm out of there. 56-yard tutty to start the 4th. What a way to diminish this team's morale early. But that was wishful thinking because they scored right back. And with 3.5 minutes left, we need to do the same as I'm getting us the first. 4th and 1, we not trying to get a ball back. The passing game is starting to show up, getting us the first and some. Play after that, I'm getting a handoff, getting 10 yards on the play, and we call a timeout. Back from timeout, and this play hurt a little because as you can see, the lane is there. The defense is just faster than me, and I get stopped at the 2-yard line. But from the 2, coach is going to let me have this one, and I put my head down and score what would be the game-winning tutty. And I got my moment. What I always wanted, and that was to be the reason we won a game. And that game just so happened to be for a state championship. Listen, the state championship, I put up 189 rushing yards against the number 1 defense in the state, which would give me my last star, officially making me a blue chip. And those 4 stars brought in the college offers that I wanted for sure. Where I would go, I'm not sure. I need to set up a time to go visit my pops and talk to my mom about it before I officially made my choice. I'm too excited to start this next journey in my life that I don't even have a top 5 school, not even 10. If I could take them all, I would. But y'all give me some suggestions down below. Who needs a 4-star running back recruit? Maybe I'll go to your favorite team. Either way, I'll see y'all in the next one. Immediately because I was hungry and eager to get back out on the field. Draft night couldn't come quick enough, and there's no need for theatrics at this point, but to everyone's surprise, I was drafted 1st round, 3rd overall to the Washington Commanders. You can't say you know a 2-sport athlete drafted in the 1st round, top 3 picks in both respected sports.